to reality. For more information on products, pricing, and more, please visit us on the web at fourwallsllc.com or call us at 856-650-6556.
All right, we're back to close out here. Let's get into another great episode here on Sunday evening. One of the things that we wanted to discuss a little bit, transitioning again to sports, was the return of Alex Cora to the Boston Red Sox. And I know that Jay wants to jump on this, and I'll let him in just a minute. Because you got the cheaters who got rid of the cheater, bringing back a cheater. And I just don't think that he's even set up for success out there in Boston.
Well, no, I think he is, though, because that is a town of cheaters, in my opinion.
Oh, but remind again, folks, look at the hat.
I mean, yeah, I'm a Yankee man.
I'm
a Yankee man.
Just wondering why the Red Sox cheaters. Just asking.
Well, I mean, just Boston in general. It's just the Boston. It's just from the Patriots to filming and like.
So it's all about the Patriots, pretty much.
Well, it's just that. Yeah, they're just I listen, man. It's just to me. I just feel like they're just a cheating town. And maybe that could be just me just being a New Yorker.
Dave Roberts.
I mean, it could be just me just being a New Yorker. I can't stand. The only thing I love in Boston is my family. That's it. Other than that, I don't love nothing in Boston.
I got a buddy of mine.
Nothing about Boston.
I got a buddy of mine who literally won't go to that. You can't even talk about it.
About Boston. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Boston is cold as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I got a buddy of mine who literally if a female says that they're a Boston fan, he'll be like, nah. It won't work.
Yeah. Well, listen, I can tell you this. I went to school in New Hampshire.
That's right, New England area.
So I was up there when the Yankees blew it was a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Dave Roberts.
In 04.
I was up there for that.
Yeah.
That was probably the best time I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Oh, you had to just become a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice. So when I was up there, I was definitely it was like.
Wow.
So I remember where I was. I mean, that was like.
You remember where you were when Dave Roberts stole that base? They were down 3-0.
I was in Libby's Bar and Grill. It's right on Main Street.
In New Hampshire?
Yeah. In New Hampshire.
Drinking soda.
And yeah, I remember after they rioted the campus, they had to bring in the national. It was crazy. It was. So I mean, go Red Sox after that. That was fun time.
I mean, that's your team, the Red Sox?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. You just.
I just
forgetting, right?
I just happened to be there during the time, and it was.
Well, you were a fan while you were there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got you. And I got you. And I can understand that, but nah, I can't stand Boston.
No, and I know. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When it goes, actually going back to the Alex Cora hiring, though, I think he got a raw deal in general. When he was in Boston, because he was successful.
But he cheated.
Nobody else got fired.
Wait, wasn't he the manager of the Astros?
Right.
When they won?
The Astros.
What I'm saying, but wasn't he the manager of the Astros?
Correct.
Wasn't he part of that scandal?
Yes.
So what are you talking about?
But what I'm saying is, as a Red Sox, he got a raw deal.
Okay.
As a Red Sox, the team was successful under him. Very successful under him.
Did they win?
Yes.
They won the World Series?
2018. Or no. I have to go back. I have to go back and look.
It might be 2018, though.
Yeah, I think it was 2018.
After the Astros.
But they fired him they got rid of him.
They got rid of him because
they agreed to part ways.
Because of his cheating ways.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is,
raw deal, man.
But you do, but if I'm looking at it from Cora's perspective, he was agreed to leave, right?
Right.
But now you brought me back.
This to me sounds like, listen, you gotta take this year off, and we're gonna bring you back.
Yeah, right.
That's what this sounds.
I mean, and it is, but I mean, I think that first of all, the Red Sox, like I said, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting. But I think that if I'm a Red Sox fan, I don't know how you support this team after letting Mookie go. If I was a Red Sox fan, I'd be like, we pack Fenway Park all the time.
You're going to continue to pack
Boston. I mean, you're going to continue to pack it. You're going to get the money. How do you not re-sign Mookie? How do you let him go? Get rid of him.
But part of it, I mean, he wanted to go too. He felt like, yo, I don't want to be involved with no cheaters no more. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to get up out of there. You know
I
what I
don't know.
mean?
It's just my.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You want to get up out of there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out of here. Though they're cheaters. You know what I'm saying? They brought them back. They need some of them cheating ways to start winning again.
I mean, they're going to, listen, they need to get, like I said, they need to get their stuff together because, like I said, they had a struggle this year. They had a down year. They got some bad contracts.
Right.
So,
Don't you think teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, they can turn around pretty quickly?
Sure.
Because there's no salary cap, correct, in baseball? Is that right?
correct. There's just a luxury tax.
So now, if you're willing to put the money in, you can go get whoever
you want,
get.
right?
So I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think in baseball more than any other sport, you could turn it around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, and I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. It's just with baseball. I know, like there's a big off season coming up here in Philadelphia. Because the Phillies need to make some moves, a lot of moves, and I don't think that there's a lot of moves to be made right now for them. I mean, unless they want to go spend the money, and their owner doesn't want to spend the money. I mean, yeah, he's got Bryce Harper, but
he's got a lot of money tied up already between just Bryce Harper and what's his name again?
no, the money's not tied
The
up.
money's not tied up.
Oh, it's not tied up.
He's a free agent.
Oh, he's a free agent.
He is.
Okay, all right. So
The owner did come out and say we're not spending money because we don't know what the situation is with all that stuff, right?
Right, he did.
wow.
He literally came out
Oh, wow.
and said, and this just irked me because anytime when they cry about money, I really don't even want to hear it. But he came out and said, we didn't have the same revenue that we did before. You had, first of all, and I get that. I get you didn't have the fans. I get you didn't have some of that. But when you have a $500 million contract from Comcast poured money into your team, your system, that's fine. And it's hard for us as fans for you to say, oh, we're struggling. But you don't sit there and lower ticket prices.
Right.
You don't sit there and do anything for us.
Right.
You don't sit there and put a winner on the field. You don't make the moves. You make the moves to put a better team on that field. You're going to see results. You're going to see revenue increases again.
Sure.
But
I think they thought that they brought in Didi, right?
he's going to be gone too.
Right. They brought in Didi, brought in Joe Girardi. They
Yep.
brought in some ex-Yankees to kind of bring them a little championship, pedigree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you sign Bryce Harper, okay, to that gigantic contract. And has he lived up to that though?
It's an interesting debate. I think no, and I'll be very
Carson Senior, because he got his money before Carson, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, and again, you look at Bryce Harper, you look at what the Phillies were doing. They were moving. The Phillies thought that they were moving back towards the top of the field again, and they said, and that they had to go and they had to sign either Manny Machado or Bryce Harper if they were going to able to convince their fans that they were for real. They had to make that move and sign one of the two of them.
Sure.
And they knew they were going to have to overpay for it.
Sure.
So I mean, I love Bryce. I think Bryce has brought a lot to the field, and I think that not just on the field, but off the field, he's been everything that you could ask for, as far as supportive in Philly, as far as play on the field. People talk about he's not putting up 45 homers a year, he's not doing this, not doing that. Bryce is still producing offensively.
He never really did that.
He wasn't. I mean, he's always been like a 30, 35 homer guy, but he'll get you 100 walks. He'll get you the outfield assists. He'll do all right. And I didn't realize, like I said, and I know that this is an older Bryce Harper because when he was in Washington, he was the younger, more immature Bryce. But now I didn't realize how good of a team player he is, and how just the fact that he was out there how many times saying sign JT, sign JT, sign JT, like.
That's his boy, though.
No, it is, but just the fact that he really, really made himself loved by the Philly fans. They were like, he gets it, and then you would see him, supporting the Eagles, supporting the Flyers, supporting the Sixers. He didn't have to do this, but he's made that effort to connect with the city.
He had to do that.
No, he doesn't.
No,
he didn't.
How much you signed him for?
$330 million.
He better do that.
No, he didn't.
No, he better. He's doing his job, and everybody know when you getting and pay that kind of money. Part of your job is to market and
be an ambassador.
Yes, you'll be you know what I'm saying? Please, you know what I mean? So he had to do it, but I'm interested, is his numbers the same
Oh no,
after the contract, or have they declined?
No, they didn't decline.
Oh, they just saying.
Just
Okay.
a good season.
Okay. All right. So, but
Now he did fall off a little bit this year. And
Okay.
I said,
Alright.
like, you know,
Oh,
but he was
decline.
also hurt.
Don't
He's
get
also
hurt and
hurt.
stuff. Right.
You know, but
And the Phillies were in the hunt,
the fact
Like,
that the Phillies didn't make the playoffs this year was a disgrace.
but they were in the hunt for like the first 3-4 weeks of the season.
no, they were in the hunt basically until
So
the end.
very end.
Really?
Yeah.
They lost it like the last
Yeah, the last
2 games.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
They would have won the last 2 they were in or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, really?
That last weekend of the season, they had to win 2 out of 3. They would have gotten in. You're exactly right, Marcus.
Wow.
But the thing is,
They only win 1 out of 3, or they lost all 3.
oh, if I go back, I remember.
Oh, so all 3.
I think they lost all 3.
I think
Bums.
Yeah.
They're bums.
You know, you're a bum. I think I
It's,
really.
it's all right. No, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, I understand that. It's okay. It's
But here's the
okay.
thing, though.
It's all
If you
right,
look at
man.
the Phillies
It's
are
all
so far away,
They are.
and that's what really is it's a struggle as a diehard fan. Is that they are, you know, multiple pitchers away, multiple position players away.
Well, you
multiple
still have
relievers away.
Arietta. You still have Arietta.
No, he's going after this year, but he was a bum too. Worst.
Whoa, 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 woo! Don't say bum now. I was calling them bums, and you said no. Don't call them bums.
No.
Now wait a minute. Okay, I was
But you
calling them
come at
bums.
it vindictively. Okay, I'm coming at it as a fan of the team. That Jake Arrieta is a bum,
He is a
and he
bum.
never lived up to any of his $75 million that he got.
So I'm gonna leave it alone because of course I'm playing with you, I'm teasing you a little bit. But did some of the Hall of Famers before Mike Schmidt come down and kind of talk
Robin Roberts.
and kind of talk to the team? You know what I'm saying? Cause when
What is it,
some
Field
of
of Dreams?
No, but I'm saying when some of the Yankees are struggling, we get some of the old timers. The old timers are in spring training. They're down in Tampa. They're doing different things. Is that the same thing that where you guys play? Is it Clearwater?
Yeah, Clearwater.
Right. Are some of the old before Mike Schmidt? Are they coming down to kind of talk with the team and stuff like that? See, that's where I think it kind of starts. You gotta have some like legacy and some type
That
of.
has nothing to
It
do
does
with
though.
anything.
You don't. So you don't think that what LeBron said? LeBron said, "Yo, listen, the pressure is on me because I can't even be accepted as a Laker until I win at least one because of the pedigree,
But there was
because of the
There was
legacy."
no pressure in Cleveland. There was no pressure in Miami. There was no.
There was pressure. There was pressure in. There was pressure.
There's pressure on LeBron because of who LeBron is.
But no, but I'm saying, but that's true. But I'm saying as far as like when he went to the Lakers though, there was pressure on him because he's a star. He has to produce there. There's no pressure on Bryce Harper to produce like that. There's no pressure on him
There's
to
no
win
there's no
win
pressure on
chips.
anybody. There's no pressure on anybody in baseball except for the Yankees. That's it.
But that's my point. Is what I'm saying. Maybe sometimes, like, how does the Phillies get to develop and become one of those type of teams where that's the expectation? You know what I'm saying? There's no expectation.
That comes from the front office. That's not about Hall of Fame players or things like that. That comes from the expectations of your owner. That comes from the expectations of your GM. That is a in-house mentality.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
So-
there's the standard. This is
The standard.
the
That's the
standard.
word I'm looking for. The
This is
standard.
the
But
standard.
again, but the
Right,
Phillies-
I agree with that.
Right.
And again,
There's no standard
you
in
wanna
Philly.
talk. You're
There's no
right.
standard in nine. I really think the only place that exists is the Lakers,
New York, yeah, L.A., New
the
York,
Yankees.
Boston does because they know they got to get back to.
I think there's a standard when coming to play for the Sixers.
I disagree.
Nah, I mean the Sixers are what top
That's
three team, and maybe all of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, as far as legacy, maybe
Legacy,
a
But
little
I'm saying,
bit.
like, you're talking about that pressure. You can't tell me Ben Simmons feels that pressure because he hasn't done anything to prove himself to it, like to anybody. Like he hasn't stepped up to that pressure. He hasn't.
I mean, that's why we getting on him.
Embiid,
though.
same thing.
That's why we getting on him because there is an expectation in Philly.
But I think the difference in that expectation is more of a fan coming from the fans.
Okay.
That expectation. I think the expectation you're talking about, which I agree with you,
Right.
is the standard of the organization.
Right.
So Aaron Judge, you can come in here and hit 50 home runs, but we gotta win the World Series.
I win the World Series means
But none of
nothing.
that
means nothing.
Right.
And
Whereas in other teams, you win $50. All right, how much you want us to pay?
Right. You're
You
good.
hit 50 home runs.
You're
How
good.
much you want
Right.
us to pay you?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Phillies, you guys need to start. Like, where are those Hall of Famers to come down?
That has nothing to do with it. Like,
No, but I'm
what are you
just
talking
saying.
about?
No, but you're not. I'm just asking where they're at.
But
Where
the
are
thing is,
they?
it doesn't matter. It does no impact. These players have no impact. No impact.
Damn,
No
man.
impact.
I don't know. I just
No
know me
impact.
as a. I can't say I'm still a young man, but I'm older. But I learn a lot from the older generation.
Correct. I
Where
understand.
are those players during the training camp down in Clip? Where are
So
they?
I don't think that's not true. You keep saying before Mike Schmidt. I think that's the era.
First of all, they may not.
I think they might have. Are they
I don't know of no
alive?
era before Mike Schmidt.
You know, unless that's why I said to you about is this Field of Dreams because they're gonna have to
How
be
you want him to
those.
get out there?
Listen, man, come on. I mean, we still got like, and Dave Winfield is not like super old, but he's an old dude.
That's
he's
after Mike Schmidt.
No, Dave Winfield is, he's after Mike, but he's before Mike Smith too, because Dave Winfield's the '70s and the '80s, all from the Oakland Athletics and stuff like that.
Dave was on it to the Twins in '91 when
That's
they
what
won
I
the World
thought.
Series.
Well, everybody can play baseball long. Come on.
Oh, that's
come
disrespectful.
on. You got Phil Negro playing until he was like 55.
That's because he's a knuckleballer.
Don't matter. He's still
Yes, it
playing.
does matter. You can't say that.
But he's still playing the game.
It
until
doesn't
50.
matter,
The
because-
longevity, you can have more longevity in baseball.
correct.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But-
so these
You
players
brought
are
up
playing.
Dave Winfield. Of all the Yankees you can bring up, you bring up Dave
He
Winfield.
was trying to think of somebody who was before Mike Schmidt.
Mike Smith, that's what I'm saying. Ron Guidry before Mike Smith.
That's a good name.
Oh, the Gator. You know what I'm
That's a good
saying?
name.
Like, right. So that's what I'm saying. Where are these players? I mean, because I said I don't know anybody from the Phillies before Mike Schmidt, and you haven't really told me anything.
So listen, forget that. I think the people that like what you're talking about, I think that era of player is going to be your Chases, your Jimmy Rollins,
Yes.
those guys. But it's too early for them to do that.
Okay. And plus, well, they did win. So they did win.
Right.
So they did win. They did win. Right. That they did win. So yeah. So you do need those. Even Ryan Howard, I would even say.
Listen,
what
I
mean?
think
Yes.
I think it would be great to bring them back. I think it would be, and I wouldn't.
Let them help out or
But
something.
the thing is, that's okay. But you can have a lot of rah, but there's still no talent on the field. And the Phillies are way behind the eight ball, even within their own division of talent.
Well. So would you say that the Phillies exceeded expectations by not, almost making the playoffs, or did they underachieve?
They underachieve.
Okay.
They underachieve.
Okay.
And I would tell you this.
I disagree. Here's why I disagree. Hold on. You're saying they underachieved. So you're saying they should have made the playoffs.
I think the Phillies have.
I think if you look at their roster and say this is the team we have, and you're going to tell me that team should be in the playoffs, I disagree with that.
I mean, I'm saying you had Arrieta, you had Aaron Nola. Who was the third person?
Exactly.
Who was
the third person?
Wheeler, Zach
You
Wheeler.
got to three. You got to three, and you had to say who.
Yeah, I know. You did.
And I'm not getting on you, Randy. I'm saying I don't think that's a playoff roster.
I mean, look, this really is near and dear to my heart. So I mean, when I
That's
say
all right. It's
when I
okay.
say listen,
That's-
so I guess when I look at it objectively, no, they were not good enough for the playoffs. They weren't. But personally, I think that I've been sitting here. People forget that it's been since 2011 that the Phillies have been in the playoffs.
Right.
So I'm starting to get antsy as a fan.
Yeah.
And it's like.
And if you go back to how the season played out, they should have made the playoffs. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying with
Right.
expectations were unfulfilled.
Yeah, because
Right.
if you go look how it was playing out, and we got to win 2 out of 3, like you should do that. But if you just began the season, let's go through the roster. I don't think there's.
Yeah, and I think that I even had that conversation with buddies of mine, and we said this isn't necessarily a playoff roster. But I think you looked around, we thought we were going to have the biggest question mark was the bullpen and the pitching, which again let us down.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. I think that this team is still multiple moves away, and I don't see a front office that really is determined to make these changes. And I think that they are going to, just kind of drag their feet and try to, put a little bit of glue where you need to replace the whole entire foundation. And that's why I think it's going to be a struggle. So.
But you still have Bryce Harper, so he's going to be filling the stands.
He will. But guess what, though? It doesn't matter because when the fans can come back, if the Phillies are not competitive, the Phillies fans, first of all, Phillies fans are the biggest front runners of all. So that stadium will not be full if they're not successful. The Phillies,
No, I agree.
you know, and they won't be sold because I mean you can go back to before the Phillies were competitive in 2007. Like there was a whole many years that I can tell you from because I was one of the few people there.
It was a couple. It's like
Listen, from not
decade.
from,
Definitely
from,
over a
90
decade.
from 95 all the way up through 2006. That stadium was very, very quiet.
Right.
You know, I mean, people were there. I mean, when Tomei came, we got some excitement,
Right.
things like that. But Philadelphia Phillies fans, because the Phillies, if they're not competitive, this area forgets about them real quick.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but with that said, like I said, we got an interesting offseason.
Yeah.
I know we've had a fantastic show. We covered a lot of interesting things. You know, I'm going to give my final take real quick here. I just think, again, you know, we go back to, like we talked about earlier in the show, you know, just being smart with the sports and, I mean, being thankful to have it. I know I say this every show, but it's just, again, are we trying to push through? And like Marcus, you had said about taking steps back instead of taking steps forward. I always look at sports and I feel like, you know, when there's so many, on a bigger level, with so many more other things that are still being hindered with COVID, it's almost like part of me still feels guilty about rooting for these players on the field. And it's like, you know, so I don't know. I still love it. I still enjoy it. And, you know, I'm interested. I know next week that we will have another, you know, upcoming Eagles game to discuss.
Okay.
You know, and
Who they play?
We'll go from there. I have to double check who we play
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
But
It's the Giants.
okay.
Oh, Giants. Oh, in Jersey. Yeah.
How can it be the New York Giants in New Jersey?
That's gangster.
the
That's gangster.
Meadowlands.
That's gangster. We like, yo, listen.
Well, that's
We like, yo,
that's
listen.
like
Yo,
that.
listen. Yo, we extend our reach. Yo, we just coming into your state and taking your shit. That's gangster. You know what I'm saying? It's a gangster move.
I mean, it's so funny. You know, something like that. People always say too, like, why we root for the Philadelphia.
Oh, I definitely say
And
that.
then- and then we got
that's
the
my
Jersey
that's my
Devils.
trump card.
Like, we
That's
got-
my trump card.
yeah,
I mean,
yo.
but y'all haven't really talked that level of, you know what, for me to even pull that yet.
Well, no,
You know what I'm
even
saying?
like people say. all
I
the
pull it
time,
on
like,
my
why
boy
don't we root for-
Ortiz though. I pull it on him
Oh,
all
I
the
know.
time. You
I know.
know what I'm saying?
Oh, Marcus, what are your final thoughts tonight, sir?
Final thoughts. I just want to I want to urge all of us, and I include myself in this. You know, with our new president, new vice president, you know, obviously very excited about it. But I just want us to remember why we were so passionate to want the changes that we wanted.
Right.
Okay, and not go the same direction that was going. You know, the past 4 years. And let's try, you know, bring everybody together, you know, hear each other out, fix the problems, and not, you know, it's us against them or anything like that. We got to start making some changes. I think obviously a big change was made, but there's still a whole lot that needs to be done. And I think it's the people, man. It doesn't really matter who the president
absolutely.
is. You know, we got to make the changes, and I think every person individually can do that. And I think if we do that, I think we'll see some huge changes in our country that really need to happen.
Absolutely.
Right. I second that opinion. You know, I think that, you know, it's about change and staying together. One thing that my uncle, Uncle Kev out there in Boston, you know,
Cheater.
well, no, but he went out there. He went out there and he's done great things. But he's still New York born, bred, and still doing his thing. But one thing he had said to all of us one time, he said, you know, sometimes you gotta be like this, right? And that means we gotta be united. Now, if we're not like this, then we like this, right? And now we got gaps and holes, and people can get in and separate us. So I just think with Biden and everything that's going on, I'm hoping that this unites us. You know what I'm saying? And because we learn from differences. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we become better. It's through differences. You know what I'm saying? Because we educate our minds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that happens. I think sometimes, you know, society can, you know, shape and move a certain way where people can kind of manipulate the differences to their own advantage and their own agenda. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about this new team. I definitely want to, you know, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to the first, you know, female vice president, African American vice president. So I have to clap that out. That has to clap that, okay? Because, and the thing about it is how, you know, things happen is you know, that moment was stolen from me. Well, I don't say stolen from me, but it was put off for a while. You know, I remember sitting down with my daughter in 2016, and I said, baby, you could be anything. You could be the president. And I said, tomorrow you're going to see the first female president. And I woke up, and she said, Dad, we don't have a female president. And we was disappointed. And I still told her you could still do everything, but it's different when you see it.
Oh,
And that's the power of it. It's different when you see it, and that's why diversity is so important, because it's different when you can say, hey, you know what? I can do exactly what they're doing. And now I can tell my daughter and share that moment with them to say, hey, listen, you know what? You can do this too. And that's just the beginning. Because you just broke through the ceiling, you know what I'm saying? So it's just the beginning. So I definitely got to give a kudos to her and that whole team. And just even to the 74 million people that voted. Now the other 70 million that voted for my man, you know, we just got work to do. It's all good, and I understand it. It's all good, but you know, I'm just glad we had a little more to, you know, kind of, you know, work towards the change that I think that's going to benefit us all.
It is. I mean, look, you know, we mentioned it before. Like I said, you already see so much more happiness.
I was sounding political over here, like a politician.
Well, like we said, hopefully we have a nice announcement next week, maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
You
man.
know.
You know, we definitely keeping our fingers crossed, and you know, we hoping that, you know, God brings us the victory, man. But until then, we remain humble, and we don't celebrate nothing until they put that stamp to say it's official.
Absolutely.
That's when we celebrate.
We hope it is for sure. And like you said, you know, I think that, you know, like to start off the show, we talk about, you just see such an overwhelming joy and sense of relief and just everything.
Sure.
You know, whether it's, you know, with the females, and being able to show the young children and young women what they can do, everything, the change in the White House. There's just a different vibe now.
Yes.
You know, and that's a great thing to see.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and again, I hope next week we can celebrate and make a great announcement for you.
Hopefully,
So,
prayerfully, but we'll see.
absolutely.
You know what
Well, once again, we appreciate everyone watching, listening. We're always every week looking for more people that want to join our show. We can always join any way you want, in studio, via phone, over text. For Marcus Bullock and Jason Bryce, I'm your host, Randy Duckian. Follow us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And thank you very much. We'll catch you next week.
And don't go Eagles.